The royal family's response to Princess Diana's death remains a pivotal chapter in modern history. Initially silent, they eventually spoke out, shedding light on events surrounding Diana's tragic passing in 1997. Their revelations stirred public emotions and gave context to why Diana herself had feared for her safety months before that fateful night in Paris. Princess Diana's death remains one of the most controversial and talked about events of the 20th century. Official accounts describe it as a tragic accident, but whispers of conspiracy and unresolved questions persist, keeping her story alive in the public consciousness. At the time of her passing, Diana had been separated from Prince Charles for several years. While their tumultuous marriage had placed strain on the royal family, Diana's warmth, compassion, and ability to connect with ordinary people made her a beloved figure worldwide. However, within royal circles, she was often seen as a divisive figure who defied traditional expectations, particularly after her separation from Charles. Queen Elizabeth Roman II's initial reaction to Diana's death drew significant criticism. While the public grieved openly, the Queen stayed at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, shielding her grandsons Prince William and Prince Harry from the media frenzy. This perceived distance led to widespread outrage, with media outlets demanding the royal family show public empathy. Headlines such as "Show Us You Care" reflected the public's frustration. Reports suggest that the Queen was initially in disbelief upon hearing the news, even speculating that the car crash might have involved foul play. Prince Charles, meanwhile, reacted with deep sorrow. Royal biographer Tina Brown described him as distraught and fearful of the potential backlash toward the royal family. His priority was to protect his sons and uphold Diana's dignity in her final moments. One of the most chilling aspects of the tragedy is a letter Diana reportedly wrote to her butler, Paul Burrell, months before her death. In it, she expressed fears of a plotted accident involving her car, which might result in a fatal injury. This note fueled conspiracy theories that her death was not accidental but part of a sinister plan to silence her. Diana's growing independence and global influence had allegedly unsettled powerful figures. The paparazzi ever present in Diana's life were quickly blamed for the crash. Eyewitnesses claimed photographers relentlessly pursued the vehicle, creating an atmosphere of chaos. However, others argued that the photographers couldn't have foreseen the crash. Henry Paul, the driver of the Mercedes, was another focus of suspicion. French authorities concluded that Paul was heavily intoxicated, but skeptics, including Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi Fade's father, questioned the credibility of these findings, suggesting a cover-up. The crash's circumstances also raised questions about the car itself. Some theorists suggested the vehicle was tampered with, while others pointed to intentional obstruction by another vehicle. Additionally, the delay in medical response to Diana became a source of scrutiny. Critics alleged that the prolonged transport to the hospital was deliberate, giving time for her injuries to worsen. Despite these controversies, official investigations, including a British inquest in 2008, concluded that Diana's death was a tragic accident caused by a combination of speeding, driver intoxication, and the actions of the paparazzi. Yet, these conclusions failed to quash public doubts. In the hours before her death, Diana and Dodi had been trying to evade paparazzi in Paris. They dined privately at the Ritz Paris before deciding to leave for Dodi's apartment. Their car, driven by Henry Paul, sped through Paris streets in an attempt to avoid photographers. Neither Diana nor Dodi wore seat belts, a factor that likely contributed to the tragedy. At 12:25 a.m., the car crashed in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, killing Paul and Dodi instantly. Diana was critically injured and later succumbed to her injuries despite the efforts of medical teams. The world was stunned, tributes poured in globally, and mourners gathered outside Kensington Palace to pay their respects. For Prince Charles, the devastating task of informing William and Harry about their mother's death remains one of his most painful memories. Despite initial resistance from Queen Elizabeth, Charles insisted on using a royal plane to bring Diana's body back to the UK, driven by a deep sense of responsibility. Diana's relationship with Dodi Fayed also became a point of intense speculation. Some claimed the couple planned to announce their engagement, a union that would have drawn scrutiny due to cultural and religious differences. Conspiracy theories alleged that their relationship posed a threat to the monarchy, leading to sinister plots against them. However, these claims remain unproven. Diana's legacy endures as a symbol of compassion, warmth, and humanity. She revolutionized the British monarchy, breaking barriers with her hands-on approach to charity and her candidness about personal struggles. From comforting AIDS patients to kneeling to speak with children at eye level, Diana's actions reshaped how royalty connected with the public. Her death, whether a tragic accident or something more, left an indelible mark on history. While unanswered questions linger, Diana's influence on the world and her sons, Princes William and Harry, continues to inspire.